Peace, family. Peace. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for waiting. We are now live. I'm with Brother Yosef, powerful young scholar that's on the scene. That is, let me make sure my okay. Just want to make sure my mic was good. Oh yeah, powerful young brother that's on the scene that is absolutely tearing up the scene with the esoteric occult knowledge. If you haven't heard of the brother, I advise you to go watch not only this video but a lot of his old videos as well. What's your YouTube page, my brother?
New Life Tools, NULYFE Tools on
Indeed,
YouTube.
indeed. All right, let's get to a couple of commercials, family. Y'all know how it goes. We're gonna get to a couple of commercials. Get comfortable, get ready. Get you some water, some green juice, some wine, whatever y'all drink. Y'all conscious folks. Share the button. I mean, share the link. Hit the like button, and we'll be right back with a magnificent show, family. All right, be right back.
Hey there! Had a bad dream? I have dreams too. Some parts are scary and some parts are fun. Always remind yourself, it's only a dream and everything will be okay. I had a dream about being in a forest too. Check it out, my pet Petey was with me. Order your copy of Kayla Petey and the Forest on Amazon today.
Brooklyn, New York, are you ready? August 27th, King Simon will be there. Troy Hairston will be there. Alison Nedra will be there. Lloyd Strayhorn will be there with special guests. Sister Capunia Ife will be there. All happening at Nicholas Brooklyn Mini Workshop. Text now, call now to be there. Hey, this is King Simon, the International Numerovator. Remember, get all my books on Amazon or go to Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. And remember, don't forget to book my sessions at 347-496-1022. Book now.
All right. So we're back, family. We about to get started. Shout out to King Simon. Make sure you'll get the children's book. Shout out to everybody in the chat, the regulars that I see. Patricia Clinton. That's a regular right there. Shout out to Patricia Clinton. I'm just looking through C Diggs. All right. Shout out C Diggs. A name I recognize. Let me see who else. Crypto Egregor World. That brother's always here. All right. Shout out to that brother. Okay. And everybody else. If I miss your name, I'm just scrolling extremely fast. If I miss your name, thanks for coming. But those are some of the regulars that you got to give them a special shout out because they tune in every night and they comment every night. They're active every night. So you want to make sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want to make sure you show them some love, And I'm seeing if
and shout out to everybody who from my channel that be on here. I see some of y'all in here too. So shout out to everybody.
Yeah, that's what's up. So listen, we doing our thing. We're delivering esoteric information on a Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. It's rare to get this type of information at this time during the weekday, but that's what this new world is all about with YouTube and the internet. You could tune into things that you normally wouldn't be able to tune into. So I'm just I'm providing the best platform possible to disseminate information that we're similar to what we're disseminating tonight. And Brother Yosef happens to be one of the best at what he does. So I'm grateful to have the brother doing this tonight. But we're talking about reincarnation, family, past life baggage, all that good stuff. Start out with Brother Yosef. Forget what we say. Modern day, man. Talk to me. You're a well-studied brother. Every time you're on here, you pulling out books and shit. You like this book, that book. You got all of us scrambling, buying books. We try to buy the shit costs $800. We like that nigga Yosef did it again. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, brother, what do the ancients say? You're well read, brother. What do the ancients say? Our ancestors say about reincarnation, my brother.
That's a very good question. Our ancestors definitely talked about reincarnation, but not always. And that's something we got to understand. We didn't always reincarnate down here. This is something that when the vibration fell lower and lower on the earth plane that we live on, this is something that started to happen because we needed to learn how to continue our process of becoming gods. That's the end result of everything that we do down here. That's why we incarnate, to learn a lesson, right? We're learning, we're remembering, we're putting the pieces back together. Yes, of course, you're already God and you're already a god and a goddess. The thing is, though, you don't remember everything. You know, you don't remember everything. And some people will say, well, I didn't choose to come down here. You did. You did choose to come down here. Everything is your choice. Even if I tell you everything is predestined, you got to understand you mapped out your life before you came down here. It was all your choice. There's no higher power that made you come down. This is what you chose, family. And this is what you got to understand. You chose this. This is something that you wanted, and you came down here. Okay, so the ancients have always talked about reincarnation, but there are older texts that go into talking about different Kali Yugas and different times in our existence that talked about, even from the perspective that the world we live in, which is a hologram, is a copy of the world that we actually used to live in. Okay, so at the end of the day, no, we didn't always reincarnate. We reincarnate now based on the fact that we live in a very low vibratory world, and there are other powers that can really only affect you if you let them affect you. And that's what that is. They can only really affect you if you let them affect you. If you don't let them affect you, you can evolve your soul to the level where you don't reincarnate, because reincarnation is for humans. So the ancestors said, man, know thyself. That go for women too, and you will know God and the universe. Well, a God don't reincarnate. Okay, so we call ourselves, I'm a God, I'm God, I'm God. Well, you got to prove it to yourself. You don't got to prove it to nobody else. You got to prove it to yourself that you really are a God, like you say, because a God don't reincarnate. For all the humans, you're going to come right back down here and do this thing all over again. You know, you're going to do this thing all over again. But if you can evolve your consciousness to the state where you can communicate with entities that are beyond the third dimension and beyond the fourth dimension and above, then you can prove that you are not worthy to be on the third dimension no more. You can evolve, because the whole goal is to leave and never come back. You know, that's what we're trying to do down here, is to go. So I talk a lot about past life regressions as well. And that can show you how people have reincarnated over and over and over down here, over and over and over. And there's a time where, brother, yes, we have all reincarnated many times, right? Yeah. But it's come to a point where you stop at a certain cycle because you realize something. And that's what true evolution is, realization. True evolution is realization. So when you come to a certain realization, you don't got to reincarnate no more. Reincarnation is for humans, family. It's for humans. Mm-hmm. And I want y'all to understand that.
So a lot of people in the conscious community, the new age, whatever term we want to use these days, the woke community, I hear that sentiment a lot as far as, not wanting to come back down here. They ain't that. And Kemet, they wrote that on the hieroglyphs. Their goal was to get out of here, leave here, go back to the stars where they come from. Why is it that? And this is what I ask a lot of people that deal with the occult or the esoteric information. Why is it? It seems as though a lot of entities want to come here, and a lot of entities are jealous of us. So something that's so bad to us, why, if it's so bad to us, why are so many motherfuckers jealous of us? It's so bad to us, but we got all these motherfuckers that's jealous of us. So it must be something good about down here. Oh, why they not like, oh shit, I'm not. We don't want to come back here. But they're like, nigga, give me your body, nigga. Give me your body. Nigga. Why is that? Exactly. Why is that?
It's a lot of reasons why, but one of the main reasons why, because the humans down here, especially the black people, we have full access to a soul. So much until those who study the Anunnaki Chronicles and the Anunnaki literature know that we were shut down to a certain extent. They had to shut us down because we was too powerful. We was too powerful. We was already living as gods at one state. And then we had to get shut down by our physical creators. And, that's because we have full access to our soul. So some of the beings, for those who believe in extraterrestrials, for some of the beings that are involved in our creation, they don't have full access to their soul, but they have technology. That's the difference. They have a lot of technology that is more advanced than we are. So if the people in the Bible were true, they're not. But if they were true and they were saying, like, I saw God on the wheel, I saw the wheel, the fiery wheel, and I saw God sitting on the throne, and that's technology, to be honest with you, because the so-called Anunnaki are the most advanced scientists in the universe. Nobody has more intelligence or technology higher than theirs. They have the most advanced technology in the universe. So if you saw their stuff, they could appear to be gods to some people who don't understand that level of technology. If you take your cell phone and go back to the 1700s, they're going to think you're some type of sorcerer or some type of god. Yeah. But it's really your technology that they're amazed about. But they don't understand it. They can't even perceive how something like that can exist. So if a ship Shout out to the movie Nope. But if if a ship came to talk to you right now, you can't perceive how a ship can talk to you.
Yeah.
If a ship landed right now, let's say the ETs land, right? And it's a ship that come down. And they say, look, it ain't no ETs. I'm the ET. I'm a ship, right? And say that ship come down and talk to you. It's going to blow your mind because we live in a world today where ships don't have a consciousness like that. You're starting to hear little stuff where robots are developing a consciousness. And like I told people, they will have rights one day. Robots will have rights just like humans one day. But it will blow people's mind because we're not privy to that level of technology. So that's what that is. So the main reason why we're hated and why they want to keep us stuck, because if we have tapped into our true technology that's inside of us that they don't have access to, we become the gods, or we become their gods. And that's just a fact. So they had to shut the switch off in this. We can still access it, but it's not so easy, because one thing about the Anunnaki, when they had hands in creating us, they realized something about us. Man needs an adversary. We're not going to tell him that the adversary is him. We're not going to tell him that. But man needs an adversary to fight, or he think he's fighting, to make him grow. If he don't got nothing to fight, he won't grow. And he won't grow the right way. So that's what it is. That's why we hate it so much. We have the true technology inside of us, which is the soul.
So you're saying these other entities in other realms don't have the soul? It's just something that
some do, but they don't mess with us. You know, it's the ones that don't have full access. You know what I'm saying? Like, prime example, people they'll draw symbols of the graves. Oh, I saw this gray-headed man was in my room, you know, harassing me and beating me up and doing all the stuff. Or they say I saw a reptilian, or I saw this, right? But they never say I seen a big bearded man with dreadlocks, you know what I'm saying, that was bothering me in my room. Certain entities don't have. Now, Anunnaki have access to their soul, but not on our level. That's why they still want to control us and keep us down, because they can't control what type of soul we have. You create the body, and I kind of broke this down in one of the lectures I did in Atlanta. I broke down literally where we come from, where the Anunnaki come from, and what they really are. I broke that down in a lecture. And I talked about how.
Where do they really come from, brother? Real quick.
They're angels. They're real angels. They are the original fallen angels. And I talked about the two sides of the cherubim and the seraphim. I'm not gonna break it all down, but I'll tell y'all this. Enki was one of them people who had access to how to infuse a soul into a body. He's the only extraterrestrial that had the access. Other entities could create bodies. They didn't have the technology to learn how to fuse a soul into a body. So when he did it so good until he brought down the most highest souls into a body, and that's us, and that's our ancestors and stuff like that. So long story short, the entities that know this know that we have the best technology they can never have. They'll never have it, and that's why we're hated. They have to keep us down so we don't tap into our true technology. God
damn, our technology is that advanced, huh?
Our souls, absolutely. Because if you ever tap into your true self, you can do anything. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can't do. Your Merkaba, your light body, your light ship. You tap into all that technology, there's nothing you can't do. You will be God.
So, brother, my question is, should we really not want to come here? Is that the goal, or is the goal just to remember who we are? Because if we remember who we are, wouldn't it be like heaven on earth down here every time we come down here?
You know, it's funny because the only time we had heaven on earth is when the Egyptians, and before that as well, but the last time we had heaven on earth was the Egyptians, of course. But at the same time, we got to understand, and some people don't believe this, but this is true. The heaven on earth, Egypt in their highest state was in the fourth dimension. That heaven on earth can't exist down here in the lower third dimensional realm. Right. The heaven on earth had to exist in the higher fourth dimensional realm. So right when we were leaving the vibration of the fourth dimension, Egypt was in their height. And then as we fell into a lower state, other races and other people took over, and Egypt was in their lower form. So yes, the goal is to get out of here because we don't belong here. This is a school. This is an institution. Institution is a prison. So we're in an institution, we're in a school, and we're learning to remember. That's all you're down here for, is learn how to remember. That's why the people that's already attracted to spirituality in their early years, and it's more kids today, more younger and younger, that's attracted to spirituality. But the ones that wake up like in their 20s and earlier than that, that's because you was already in a past life doing this stuff. You just remembering where you were. He's like, oh yeah, this and that. I gotta study this, I gotta study that. So when you come to a certain state of realization in your remembrance, you're gonna come to a realization. When you come to that certain state of realization, that's when you start to evolve. That's when you start to remember who you are. You can access certain things. So that's what that is. We're in a state of constant remembrance until we come to a state of realization, which is enlightenment. And then we remember that we're God and we're one with everything. And we can move on past this illusion. That's why you really want to be here. This is illusion. The people in the higher realm know this is a computer program, and this is the lowest version of it. And you do not want to be here. Because you're controlled down here to a certain extent.
Do you think the concept? All right, let's so we're talking about reincarnation, family. For those who are tuning in, welcome to everybody who just came in. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm here with the brother Yosef, one of the best when it comes to the esoteric and occult information on the internet. Melanated or non-melanated, he's one of the best when it comes to occult information and esoteric information. So welcome to the show if you're just tuning in, my brother. So let's talk about, we're talking about reincarnation. We're talking about the concept of coming back here constantly, you know, having multiple lifetimes. Today, this time I'm Brother Rich. 1,000 years from now, maybe Varduk, you know, or something like that, or whatever. What I want to ask you is this concept, the program that we are given right now of, some people call it YOLO, you only live once. And this concept of we only have one lifetime, it can cause a lot of, do you think the concept of, you know, the Christian, it's taboo for Christians or all these religions. They don't really think about reincarnation. They don't believe in it. But do you think the concept that we are embracing in the current culture of you only live once causes us to be reckless? Because, and let me just give you an example. Because a brother may have a wife and kids at home, and you know, because he thinks he only live once, he be like, man, fuck it, I got to do it all this lifetime. I'm gonna fuck all the hoes. I got to do my thing. I only get to be down here once. I got to do my, you know, do you think that causes us to be reckless, or is it just on every individual?
To a degree, depending on the person you're dealing with, because to a degree, it can cause people to be reckless because they may feel like that. They may feel like I gotta get it all done down here. I gotta fulfill all my desires and do it all before I go. You know what I mean? But for some people, it keeps them in line. They say, man, I gotta get it right because you know, it comes down to religion, and they'll say, oh, heaven and hell, and I don't want to burn in hell. Which is why a lot of Christians, I would say at least 99% of Christians, the only reason why they do right, because they don't want to burn in hell for eternity. You know what I'm saying? Right. They don't do it because they love Jesus. You know, you never even met this person. You never even had a true experience with this person. How can you say you love him? You know what I'm saying? And and he even tell you in the Bible that love your brother. How you gonna love me? You know, love your brother. You never even seen me. I was like, man, that's pretty deep. So at the end of the day, yeah, some people are, religion keeps certain people in check. So the idea that we only live once, that's the ego. I know that's a part of the culture we live in today. The ego says that, hey, focus on me and you're only going to be me and there'll never be another you. To a degree, that's right. But the ego is the one that doesn't want you to evolve spiritually because you'll forget about it. And I was just talking about this on my Patreon channel. If you focus on the ego, it doesn't want you to not focus on it because you'll forget about it. And if you forget about it, you only can tap into, the only thing left for you to tap into is your higher consciousness. It's clear now. It's a clear shot. So this is why I always tell people, and I'll say it again, give yourself a spiritual name. Whatever you call yourself, just to separate your consciousness away from what your mama and your daddy called you. That person that went through all that pain, person that went through all that child abuse and suffering and everything, separate yourself from that person because that person is damaged. Don't get me wrong, do some shadow work and get yourself right. But in the meantime, call yourself something else and separate yourself so that you can, you know, do the right thing and grow correctly. So yeah, I think when people go into the whole YOLO, you only live once, that's the ego, you know, and the ego is dangerous because I believe the ego is attached to your lowest nature and its job is to kill you one day. But in the meantime, make you suffer and keep you in a state of amnesia and making you think that you're not more than what the ego is. You are only what your mama call you and your daddy call you, and that's not true at all. You're way more than that, and your human self is the lowest part of yourself. Your soul goes on. Your soul is doing things right now. We're not even asleep right now. Your soul is having an experience in the fourth dimension right now as we speak. And to be honest with you, the fourth dimension kind of plays a role where you already everything we're experiencing now, it already got played out before in the fourth dimension. So we're just reliving something that already happened. You know what I mean? In the fourth dimension. So yeah, I think that YOLO thing is very dangerous, brother.
Do you think the prime source creator, beyond this universe, beyond the Big Bang, when all was one and one was all, beyond this dream, this illusion, do you think the prime source creator suffers from, and that sounds blasphemous, how can I say the prime source creator, but I'm saying it, family. Do you think the prime source creator, beyond this illusion, suffers from boredom? And that's why it has to keep this illusion going of the universe, is because, you know, it's bored being the only one in existence. It's bored being anything, everything, omnipresent. So this experiment we call the universe, it's a way for the prime source creator to have a little fun and to forget that it's everything, to embrace limitation, because being unlimited, being eternal. Because in all the movies, the vampires, the motherfuckers that live forever, they be miserable. They be miserable that they live forever, and they see lifetimes after lifetimes, and they get jealous of the humans. They be like, "Yo, I wish I didn't have to live forever." So, do you think the prime source creator is a little bit suffers from boredom?
Man, that's a good question.
I don't mean to be blasphemous.
Right, I feel you. I feel you. That's a good way to, because I think deep like that, right?
Yeah.
I think, in my own opinion, that prime source creator didn't get bored, but I think the prime source creator has been bored before, right? And created different versions of itself and done, you know, I think that we got bored. We existed with the prime source creator in that dimension where your true soul comes from, with the source. I think we got bored and we felt unworthy. And this goes into a very old story, Kabbalah story, but I think that we got bored and we got, you know, and we felt like we wasn't worthy to be with the creator. And we wanted to come down. That's what I think. You know what I mean? I think we wanted to have fun and put on some VR goggles. You know what I'm saying? When you're bored.
The Oculus.
You know
What's that called? The
Oculus.
Oculus metaverse.
We wanted to come down and play this game. And this is the realest game you could play. Because I really believe that in your higher source self, you can just think about what you want and it's yours. If you want to say, I want to run 10 universes, it's yours. Because you are one with the all, you in the prime source, you know, area. And I think that it came to a point where he's like, you know, what did I do to deserve this? You know what I mean? I want to have another experience. I want to suffer a little bit because I don't know what it's like to suffer. Y'all know how we are. We feel like that right now down here now. I want to go to the bad boy. You know, knowing good and well, he gonna break your heart. I want to go to the bad boy. I want to mess with the sister over here, the sister over here. You know what I'm saying? That I know ain't no, because, you know, I want to mess with her. We hurt ourselves down here right now. And we know we ain't supposed to do certain stuff. So just imagine if you have full authority to say, I want to create my own universe and I want to go live in it and I want to suffer just to see what it's like. That's what I want to do. I want to play a video game. I want to play the most scariest VR video game and scare myself. We do that right now.
Yeah, you know? For real. You know, when we embrace this as above, so below concept, you know what's interesting, Brother Yosef? I'm talking about the prime creator suffering from boredom, and that's why the universe is created. If they say the black woman is the best representative of God down here, and if she's the best representative of God down here, she suffers from boredom the most. You know, man, listen, she'll have the best nigga on her hand. If that nigga's boring, man, she'll be like, listen, man. She'll be like, listen, man, I need that excited. You know?
Right.
But she likes excitement. The black woman likes it. She likes
absolutely.
She doesn't like. She likes something spontaneous. She likes something different. She doesn't. And to us, it drives men crazy. We like, what the fuck do you want? You crazy bitch! Like, we like, yo, that's what we think. We like, and I'm just being real. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, family. I'm just giving a real scenario of human traits, characteristics, and emotions. We don't understand the black woman, and I feel like she represents that chaos that's the prime creator. So that's why I'm asking, Brother.
Yes, I want to say this too. We got to keep in mind there's different levels of the creator. Yeah. Okay. We got to keep in mind that there's a demiurge called Yaldabaoth. Right. The demiurge created this false physical existence. So we're not even talking about the creator. So to a degree, people could be talking about demiurge, got bored and stuff like that, right? Now the soul, our soul connects more to the true prime creator. right?
Okay.
The true crime creator.
Okay.
So from that perspective, see, it's deep because it's like when the demiurge was born, even though it birthed itself, did it get bored and say, I'm gonna create me a world? It seemed like everybody doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just create something and I'm gonna run it and I'm gonna cause chaos and do what I want to do. Did his mama do it? Most likely his mama did. And said, I'm gonna create this. And most likely he copied, because he's a false creation himself to a degree. He copied what his mama did. You know what I mean? And that happens throughout centuries, just like King James copied the Bible from his mother and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Everybody copied. So I think that's a thing down here too, So yeah, I think this is something to think about for the people to think about, the demiurge, and that part that created a false reality that we stuck in. And then you have the curator,
So Yosef, so these entities, whether we call them the demiurge or the Anunnaki or whatever, we're like, these are some evil, wicked motherfuckers. Do you think at the end, since this is all a game, this is all an illusion, Big Mama gonna forgive all these motherfuckers anyway? We beef with them, and when we get back to the realm outside the universal realm, Big Mama, we're gonna see them. Be like, how the fuck did they get here? And Big Mama be like, y'all all family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be? You feel like this gonna be like that?
I know a lot of people gonna be saying that, but trust me, she's gonna deal with the people she gotta deal with. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Some people gonna burn and suffer for the stuff they did because they knew better. They knew better. They know more than we do. They got more access to information than we do. They know better.
Yeah, and
they took advantage of the situation.
Yes, sir.
So they gotta go ahead and take that ass whipping when they get it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, yes, it's gonna be some people that look like they shouldn't be there. But Big Mama know what she's doing. She know what she's doing more than we do. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think we definitely gonna see that. What the hell is a reptilian doing up here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like that,
They was like, well, not all of them, son. You didn't know the whole story.
You didn't know the whole story.
I think we gonna deal with some of it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Excellent answer, my brother. What do you think about people that get abused? Like, let's say we see someone getting abused at an early age, and we like, damn, that's fucked up. How can God allow this to happen? Do you think bad things that happen to people is because in a past life they did some crazy shit, and that's part of, and remember the name of the show is past life baggage. That's part of their past life baggage, that they got to go through that because they did it in the past life, my brother. Because the human trafficking, people will say that's such a cruel concept to embrace because of human trafficking. They be like, oh my God, so all of this bad stuff is because they did something in the past life? You brothers are insane. People will say that. That's why I want to ask that to you, brother. Hard question to ask.
I can understand people thinking that's insane, but at the same time, it's better than you do something wrong one time and burn for eternity in hell. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. At least I got a chance to fix it and get it right. No matter how bad what I did, I may have to repay that, but at least I got a chance to fix it and get it right. You know what I'm saying? That kind of lets you know that we living in the game. You hit the reset button. Now you got to start back from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And go through all that stuff you created, but you get to do it all over. You get to do it right the next time. And that's a blessing to a certain extent. But when we suffering, nobody wants to admit that nobody wants to go through the suffering that they created. So yes, I'm one of those people who believes, and to a degree, I know from my own perspective that the stuff we deal with in this life, especially the negative stuff and the positive stuff, we drew it to us in this life. So if you got babies, that's no disrespect towards anybody got a baby that's born sick. I was born with asthma and almost died when I was born from asthma. You know what I mean? So anybody, but yes, if you, okay, let me say this. Arthur Sharcroft, who was from my city, where I lived at. He was one of the most notorious serial killers, right? That ever lived. Okay, Arthur Sharcroft, if he gets reborn as a little girl, and somebody murders Arthur Sharcroft, they gonna say that's sad. But you don't know who this little girl was in a past life. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who this person was, or this little girl died in a car accident, or something happened, or a little boy, right? Or it may be a 20 or 30-year-old person that gets shot, right? You don't know if they shot somebody in the past life. You don't know that. But one thing about the universe makes you pay back what you put out. What you put out, you're going to pay that back. You better believe it. It may not be exactly like you did it, but you're going to pay it back. If you murder, the universe is going to make sure you get murdered back. That's what's going to happen. Nobody gets done innocently wrong in this universe. You only get what you put out. And that's a fact. So we got to stay away from the fact that, now don't get me wrong. I don't believe that violent music makes a person want to be violent. I think a weak-minded person wants to be violent. I don't listen to Mobb Deep growing up. You know what I'm saying? The Locks, MOP. I listen to all these NWA. I listen to all that stuff. And I grew up Christian. And I used to sneak in and listen to the stuff. I never wanted to be violent. I love the lyrics. I feel like they were saying something real that a little boy in the hood could relate to. That's what I felt like when I was growing up. I never felt like it was, I wanted to be a gangster. Now, other weak-minded people did. They wanted to do what they saw, But at the end of the day, the ones that wanted to do what they saw and they did things, yes, you got to pay that back. That comes with it. You know what I'm saying? That comes with it. So, yes, I'm one of those people that believe that, brother. What you put out in this universe, you will get it back, no matter how sad it is. You know what I mean? And nobody wants to go through it. But it happens. It happens, brother.
Brother Yosef, what realm are we in before we incarnate down here? Like, are all the souls in like we got planet Earth down here? Are all the souls on a particular? Is there a planet, the pre-reincarnation planet? This is where souls go where they get reincarnated. Like, is there a place where we are before we incarnate to this realm, Brother Yosef?
Before you incarnate to this realm, you actually exist on the 8th dimension. You come down from the true world. Yes. And then you come on down to different dimensions. So before you even born down here, you were already a God. You were already an angel. You already were in these perfected states, in these forms. And that's why you actually have levels of consciousness that already exist in these realms. That's why a person could tell you, oh, when you're talking to Shiva, you're talking to yourself. That's why a person could say that to you. Because on one higher level, you actually were Shiva. Or you actually were a consciousness of Shiva in a different form. It could have been Heru. You could have been Heru. You know what I'm saying? Or you could have been Shiva. You could have been that in different states of consciousness on different parallel universes. You see what I'm saying? So you existed in higher realms as a god. And then you came down to other dimensions as a light body, as a Macabre body. You already went through all these things. That's why you have the access in your soul to remember. How could you can't really remember something that you never went through? You already a god. So how are you already a god? Because you came from that state already. Now what happens is right before you're born, you come down to the lowest state, which is the 4th dimension. And you have these womb doors that I had the pleasure to see in the astral plane one time, all these little different pockets of light that these souls go through. And you have these womb doors. So a womb door is something that it literally opens when people are having sex. Now it can stay open in the 4th dimension for what seems like days because time is different here. But a brother may want a quickie and you may be born from that quickie your daddy wanted. You know what I'm saying? So it may be 15 minutes for your mom and your daddy, but it could be days in the astral plane. A womb door opens. When that womb door opens, the soul comes through. The soul comes through piece by piece. So when you come into your mother's womb, your whole soul is not there. And that's why babies have the hole open at the top of their head, because the soul is constantly coming through until they're a certain age, and then that hole closes up. They have that soft spot. The soul is constantly coming through. In the meantime, the baby lives on their subconscious mind. So in a subconscious mind, the baby knows to go to the breast and get the mama's milk. You ain't got to teach a baby how to cry for food. You don't have to teach a baby how to crawl. You don't got to teach a baby how to crawl. You could try to teach a baby how to walk, but if you leave a baby alone, the baby will just know it's time for me to walk. It'll start standing up by itself. The baby will start trying to walk by itself. The baby just knows. And you are like this until you're about 3 years old, and then your ego pops up. And when your ego pops up, you come back down to the lower dumbed down state, and you got to be taught everything. And your parents, because they was taught through different years of mental because they went through so many different states of being trained and taught by their parents and their grandparents. Now they're giving to you the same signs. Tie your shoes this way. Don't talk to strangers. Do this. If a bully hits you, you hit them back. The same thing your mama told you and your grandmama on back. It's the same thing, same programming. You're given programs from the age of 3 and beyond. So when you first come down, yes, you come through the 4th dimension through womb doors. And once you make it through these womb doors, you're born, but you only have a piece of your soul down here. And then the rest of it comes down until you're about the age of 3. And around the age of 3, your soul gets in your body and your ego kicks in. So that's kind of what happens, brother.
Brother Yosef, you talk a lot about astro traveling. I'm just curious with your experience in astro traveling, how important is life on Earth in comparison to the entire universe? I mean, you may astro travel and be out there in the cosmos or whatever, but how important is our story down here to the universe? So like are we a big deal, or are we just motherfuckers don't pay attention to it? They're like them niggas down there, man. Like, how important is life down here on Earth to the universe, my brother?
I'll be honest, at one point they did pay us attention, a lot of attention, because we were very advanced people at one point. Today, a lot of entities don't pay us no attention. So these negative forces, these negative entities try to take advantage of us now because we don't know as much as we used to know. We don't have access as much to our spiritual power as we once had. So right now, a lot of entities don't even care about us. But there are a few that help us, and they do know because they see our potential. But a lot of us like, oh, them humans over there, they think they're the center of the universe. That's how they treat us. You know what I mean? But when we're in our greatness, oh, they paid us attention. And now they feel like, oh, they fell and they're lost and forget them. But there's a lot of entities that still see our potential, and they're still here to help us grow and get us out of it, help us get out of this mess. Now, don't get it wrong. Even if aliens showed up tomorrow and say, we here to help humans, you could still be lost. Can't nobody help you. You can only help yourself. You can only help yourself get the information you need or the spiritual knowledge you need to grow. But there are entities that are definitely here to help us to a degree fight these negative forces that are here so they can get out of our way so we can evolve the way we need to evolve. But to a degree, yeah, our story is important, what we went through. But because we fell, once, how some people say we rock with you when you cool, then when you ain't cool no more, people don't rock with you. That's kind of how they did us down here. So they really see us as a bunch of dumbed down people. Like them people, they're ignorant, they're lost, and we don't want to deal with them. But they know that we have potential. The certain ones know, and they want to deal with us, and they want to help us wake up that potential again.
Indeed. Is it possible, Brother Yosef, for a soul to incarnate down here in multiple avatars at the same time? Like, say, me and you share the same soul. Like, is that possible where we got two different avatars?
Absolutely. All twins are one soul. All twins, whether you're fraternal
that's
or
the twin flames you're talking about. The twin flames.
To a degree are twin flames, but literally, you can have soul groups where a group is a group of people can be a soul. Like you have 5 people and they just friends forever, and they got this real tight connection, like brothers and sisters. That's because they're in a real soul group, and that could be one entity that came down as 5 people, right? And in different lifetimes, they brothers and sisters. Mamas and uncles and grandpa, they just together in every lifetime. Those people come together in every lifetime. To all twins, though, that are in their mother's stomach, whether you're fraternal or identical, are the same soul. They're the same soul that came down as 2 people. And so that happens all the time, brother. That does happen. Twin flames are more rare. Because the twin flames, everybody want to be a twin flame, you know what I'm saying? But people are actually more of what you call soulmates. So people are more soulmates than they are twin flames. Soulmates are born every day, all the time. Twin flames, in my opinion, it's only about maybe 1,000 twin flames on the planet right now. Because twin flames are hated by the government. They're hated because when you get a twin flame together, they are one group that one soul that came down as 2 people. When you get twin flames together, they come in to change the world and nothing could stop them. So these 2 people, husband and wife, 2 best friends could be twin flames. But then when they get together, you can't stop them until they complete their mission. Once they complete their mission, you can kill them. But until then, the government, the powers that be, so they watch them like a hawk. Wow. They watch them like a hawk. And until they complete their mission, you can't bother. That's what twin flames really are. So if you're a husband and wife twin flame, y'all have a mission. It could be something very simple. It could be something very simple as a mission, or it could be something very hard or advanced as a mission that y'all really got to struggle through. So yeah, that's what twin flames are.
That's very interesting, my brother. That's very interesting. Is there anybody, I'm just curious, because you astral travel, you're a very spiritual brother, got a lot of wisdom and knowledge. Is there anybody in your life that you know was there in a past life, and you're like, I know you from a past life? I'm just curious.
My wife, of course, me and her have been together at least 5 lifetimes that I can remember.
As wife and as husband and wife?
Yes, as husband and wife.
Oh, y'all going hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's just another version of me. She's literally all my friends. If you ever met my wife, she is the female version of Brother Yosef. You know what I'm saying? Except I'm a little bit more open. But if you see me in public, I'm real quiet, keep to myself. I just observe, right?
Right.
And that's all my wife do. She's quiet. I'm trying to get her to come on YouTube, but she's very, shy and stuff. So her, my best friend, Makai, me and him been friends and brothers in different lifetimes. And there's a few other people. Even my mother, I have a past life with her when I was her father at one time. You know what I'm saying? I was my mother's father. So, and she's born on 9/9 and I'm born on 11/11. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I've incarnated in the first one of the most powerful, I would say, reincarnation stories of my wife was when we were in Atlantis. And I've been telling my wife this for years, and we were hermaphrodites. That's right. We were male and female, both of us. We were both hermaphrodites. Wow. We were about maybe 8 feet tall. And we was walking through this beautiful hallway. I could see it like it was yesterday, brother. I could see kids and I remember looking out the window and I seen kids on like marble water slides. And I remember seeing people with my complexion with cone-shaped heads, like that went up like this. And I couldn't really see myself, but I know that I had this book in my hand that had jewels, different colored gemstones all around it. And we was walking down this beautiful hallway holding hands. And I remember that, man, like it was yesterday. And that was my first past life regression. And when I seen stories of Atlantis and people talk about it, I said, yo, that's true. That's true. And of course, one of the stories I hate to mention, but we died in one of our stories. I was an old Jewish white man, and my wife was a Jewish woman, and the Nazis came for us. And we woke up in the morning, had the same dream, bro. We woke up in the morning, it was the same dream, bro. Oh, bro. And I got shot and I died. And when I'm looking at her, my face is changing to Brother Yosef and it's changing back to this fat Jewish man, back and forth, back and forth. And I told her, don't worry, just like I taught you, we're gonna see each other again. And I died right there. I died right there, brother. And she kept shooting and she got shot. So yeah, we went out like Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, and that explains why y'all together right now.
Right.
That strong bond. So a melanated individual will incarnate down here as a non-melanated individual and so on and so forth. Like, is that how that works? Yeah. Because I thought maybe because I from what I read, there's a group of people who have souls, there's a group of people who don't have souls, and the soul don't incarnate to the soulless, and the soulless don't incarnate to those who have souls.
That's right.
I mean, how does this really work? If I have a soul, why would I incarnate? Please, yeah.
Just like Brother Bobby talked about, there are some white people that you think is white. They look white.
A lot.
They have a soul.
A lot of them, yeah. A lot of them, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They have a soul, and they have, like they said, one drop of blood, and you have a full-fledged soul. So I know that's a lot of white people that I've met that have souls. They just
you know what Bobby said? Because Bobby said the people who we think are white people are basically extinct. He was like that them motherfuckers is basically gone. Like we got a lot of niggas, potential niggas running around here right now. You know,
I would say this, brother. And that's why we got to get past the black and white thing, because it's a lot of people that look white. And they actually don't hate you. They don't hate us. You know, now they can't help having you know what I'm saying, white privilege. It is what it is. But some of them are using their white privilege to help. And I'm not saying we need to,
Brother Yosef, my spiritual side wants to believe that, but the video to Karens just make it hard. My spiritual side wants to believe that, but the video to the Karens, they make it hard to believe.
I feel you. And that goes into, I don't believe all of them. There's a few I know I've met a few that don't have a soul. You know what I'm saying? I believe, I would tell you, brother, I believe I've met melanated people that don't got no soul.
Yeah.
I believe that. You know what I'm saying? They were one of the most devilish people I ain't gonna say his name because he might be watching it. But one of the most devilish people I ever met in my life when I used to have a job was a black man. And I couldn't believe some of the dirt and stuff he was doing to his own people, man. I couldn't believe it. It broke my heart, man. So I know. So yeah, one drop of blood, you can, so black people can reincarnate as white people. You think you white. You know what I'm saying? But you're not actually white the way people think they are. You actually have a soul.
Right.
You actually have a full-fledged soul. You just look white. Like they talk about Sicilian people with the black eyes and the black hair. That's a soul right there. Any white person you see with black eyes got a soul. That's a fact.
Let's I want to get to a couple of questions. So prepare your questions. I'm gonna ask a couple of more questions, but I definitely want to get questions from the people before we get out of here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We got 2,500 people in the chat right now. If you recently joined us, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the video on with Brother Yosef. Brother Yosef, tell them your YouTube channel for those who just joined us once again, brother.
Yes, YouTube channel is New Life Tools. NU_LYFE Tools. You can also check me out on Patreon, Brother Yosef on Patreon. You can look for my book on Amazon. Just came out a book called 4D Ascension. It's part 1 to the full-fledged physical book I'm going to be doing. That's coming out probably in October. And just a short ebook, dropping a lot of information in that short ebook. And a full-fledged book will be coming out in October. Yeah, y'all can catch me on anyone. Email me New Life Tools. Once again, family, I'm not doing consultation till the end of August, beginning of September, right around that time. I know people still emailing me, but I'm not doing consultations till that time. I got a lot going on, family.
A lot of people are like, yo, who in the chat, they're like, yo, how do I know who I was in a past life? And I want to ask you about that. There's a big community of people who say they could do past life regressions now. Do you think that's real? Because people are like, yo, who was I? So do you think past life regressions is something that's real?
Absolutely. And I think that if you are patient enough, a person could do it themselves. And if you dream good enough, you can see your past life in your dreams. I'm telling y'all, the dreams is the gateway to let you know what level of spirituality you on, what level of power you on, how much you wake up in your dreams is important, how much control you have over your dreams is important, right? All that stuff is important, right? If you could retain memory, because we got to take memory with us when we leave, but you got to learn how to bring memory back with you as well when you have these dreams. Not just, I had a dream. And yes, to a degree, some of your dreams can represent something on a subconscious level, but some of the stuff you went through in your dreams really happened. You know, you may be dreaming about a dragon and the dragon told you something. You have to retain that memory and bring it back down with you. And a lot of us have these experiences every night, but we don't retain the memory. We don't have the spiritual energy to bring the memory back down with us from that realm. And some of us don't have the energy to take our memories from here with us to the 4th dimension, which is very dangerous. Because if you don't remember your dreams, you're not going to remember how it was like when you die. So that's why they call sleep the cousin of death. Because if you can remember your dreams, you remember what it's like when you die. So that's very important, family, very important. So yes, it's important to retain your to dream, family, and get all these things done. It's very important, family. Very important. So yes.
Hey, Brother Yosef, somebody wants to know. I just seen it. Where's this question at? Oh man, hold up. Oh, there's so many questions, man. This is such an interesting topic.
Yo, people love this topic.
It truly is. How do you bring back memory? That's what they want to know. How do you bring back memory, Brother Yosef?
So you're going to need to work on your astral form. The memory you are getting in your dreams is in your 4th dimensional body.
Okay.
Not in your 5th dimensional body, 6th dimensional body. If you was in your 5th dimensional body, everything will look gold. You'd be in a realm of lights. If you're in your 6th dimensional body, you'll be getting information directly from Buddha and a spiritual master, and you'll be on that level. So most of us are having just basic dreams, but we're experiencing things in the 4th dimension. So I did a video called How to Grow Spiritually. And, you know, shout out to people who actually take my advice and actually work really hard, because some people work 1 or 2 months and they say, Brother Yosef, it ain't working. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, how long have you been working on it? I've been about 6 months, about 6 months. Bro, listen, it took me 2 or 3 years, 3, 4 years before I even had it. Yeah, about 4 years before I had my first real heavy spiritual experience from 2007. You know what I'm saying? So people got to be patient with themselves, be patient and trust the process. Stop doing it because you want power. Do it because that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be growing spiritually. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So, so you bring back memory with you by working on your 4th dimensional body. The more you increase your spiritual energy, right? The more you increase your spiritual energy, the more you will bring back memory with you. You wake up in your dreams. So decalcify the pineal gland. That's the first thing. get you some trace mineral drops, Harataki, you know what I'm saying? And y'all can go to my website and hit products and get the Harataki from there as well. So get the Harataki, get the trace mineral drop. You get trace mineral drops from Amazon. Right, go on Amazon, just type in trace mineral drop. The first one you see, is the liquid ones you want to get. They will decalcify your pineal gland and they will open it up. But you need to activate your pineal gland. It's the difference between opening the pineal gland and activating it. You activate it by doing certain mudras, which is easy to find. I gave y'all a book called The Healing Power of Mudras. They got third eye mudras in there. Get your mudras going. Work with crystals to work on your third eye. Do meditations on your third eye. Right? Do meditations, and this will activate your pineal. It's not hard. It really ain't. All you gotta do is start exercising your pineal gland. Once you do this, you'll have the tunnel will be open. The energy you need will be activated, and you will be able to bring back memory through your third eye. And you will be able to bring that memory back because your fourth dimensional body will be more increased. Indeed. So you're blocking the power of your fourth dimensional body by having your third eye not being activated. So that's important, family. So that's how you do that.
Brother Yosef, the next question is how to increase spiritual energy.
That's a very good question. So the first level is you can do what I just said, right? But also, nothing increases your spiritual energy like sun gazing. Sun gazing, there's even an article that talked about people getting supernatural powers from looking at the sun. Of course, sunrise and sunset is when I recommend it. But sun gazing will keep you. So energy work. A lot of people say the term, do some energy work, but they'll never explain what energy work is, right? So if we want to talk about energy work, using it to increase your spiritual energy, which is what you should be doing, evolutionary magic, then yes, the sun is the top tier, without a shadow of a doubt. But you can also be practicing your mudras. They got something called the 9 cutting fingers, which is a mudra practice I do almost daily, right? The 9 cutting fingers, you can look that up. I've talked about that in my mudra class as well. So you can do this, which is yoga for the hands, mudras, right? So you can do this mudra practice that will increase and constantly switch the circuitry in your body. Where every time you do these mudras, like off and on, like a binary code switch, you're constantly exercising and working these circuit centers in your body when you do mudras. You're exercising your energy. So mudras is energy work. Sun gazing is energy work. Yoga is energy work. Tai Chi, yoga, stuff like that. You're using, and so anything that's allowing you to pull your energy is energy work, right? A couple of things with mantras can be energy work, but for the most part, those are the major things you want to do energy work to increase your spiritual energy. That's what I do. I do mudras every day. I don't do yoga. I ain't gonna lie. I don't do yoga like that. I sun gaze. I do mudras. I do a couple mantras. You know what I mean? Those are some of the main things I do.
All right. Sorry about that. Let's get back to the next question. Is there any benefits from daydreaming, Brother Yosef?
Yes, absolutely. Daydreaming is a form of dream. It is a form of dreaming, but what you want to do is you want to learn how to fall into trance. You want to learn how to fall deeper into the trance when you're daydreaming. So a daydream is like, daydreaming is more what shamans do. Shamans do daydreaming more than anybody. So shamans that had this rhythm, they'll catch and they'll fall into like a trance to a degree, and they'll start daydreaming and fall into a trance. So that's what you want to learn how to do. You want to fall deeper into a trance state when you're daydreaming. And we all do it, family. We all do it. Everybody done drove home and don't know how you got there.
Yes, sir.
I just did it a couple hours ago. And I live in Houston. I'm like, how did I get home? Oh, well, I came from like 35 minutes away. And I got here and I'm like, man, because I knew where I was going to a certain extent. So this ride, I didn't need my GPS. But I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, whatever. I pulled into the driveway. It is what it is. We all did it. So we all fall into the level of daydreaming and we be gone. Your eyes be wide open, but you be gone. You know what I'm saying? You might be on a spaceship. You might be talking to your ancestors. You might be doing all kinds of stuff. So yes, daydreaming is a great benefit, family. And it can help you. It's a form of meditation as well.
Indeed. Brother Yosef, what are your thoughts on transmuting karma? Okay.
That's a very good question. So, Dharma, creating Dharma, because Well, let me say this first. Because some people I know don't believe in karma. And that's cool. Because I can understand where you're coming from. But karma is for humans. If you're a human, your ass don't deal with karma. It is what it is. Because only humans deal with karma. Gods don't deal with karma. So gods don't reincarnate, and gods don't deal with karma. But you're not a god just because you say you're a god. You got to show and prove. You got to change your life. You got to change your situation. A god controls his life or her life. That's what a god does. So the first thing as a god you got to do is learn how to take control of your life and stop letting the negative forces, beat you up all the time. You got to take control. So, and you don't have to deal with karma. So one of the best ways, in my opinion, to transmute karma is this prayer called the Anisa Vijaya Dharani. That's a very powerful prayer that you can use. Y'all don't ask me how to spell it, but go to Google and say the words Anisa Vijaya Dharani. You know what I'm saying? But I want to give people something practical they can do. And the truth is, you can work on what you call dharma, which means you're doing good deeds. Doing a lot of good things will actually deplete a lot of your karma. That's how that process works. So if you want to transmute karma, you can actually transmute it by doing good things for people. Practice compassion is what I'm trying to say. Practice compassion, family, is the best thing to help you transmute your karma very fast.
Indeed, indeed. Let's get to the next question. What's the ego death and the connection to evolution?
Okay, this is funny because I just was on my Patreon yesterday talking about this. And the title of the video was